Now, we're going to take a deeper look into flag football with Jakarta Fox's players. There's Characa Rosandi and Melica Rosandi. Thank you guys so much for coming. Good morning.
Thanks for having us. Good morning.
I hope you guys are really excited about this because actually a lot of my friends have just recently joined, and I wanted to ask that it's becoming very, even more popular in the recent couple of weeks. You guys have started playing again, right? After the pandemic and everything. How's it going?
Sorry?
How is it going?
It's going well. It's going really fast. A bit too fast for us right now. Like we're trying to figure out where to get fields and everything because they're usually booked. But it's going very well. We're very blessed for that. So.
Well, just out of curiosity, what is football flag and what makes it different from the actual American football? Now, I know this is no contact, but how is it no contact?
Yeah. Do you want to explain a bit?
Yeah. So I guess in American football, to end a down, you'd have to tackle a player so that they drop the ball. But in flag football, instead of tackling the player, you wear this belt, which has about 2 or 3 flags.
Yep.
I think you have got the belt with you.
Yes, right here.
That's right.
So the way to tackle someone or end a down is you just pull the belt off.
Yeah.
Like
that,
so what happens when one belt is off? So the game temporarily stops.
Correct. So that's the next down. It's just like football, but no tackling. You just pull the flag and you start there. You start there for the next.
You have 4 chances, right? So you gain yards.
So I know growing up, a lot of international schools used to do that, but how did you start Jakarta Foxes, and what made you want to take it really serious?
I actually started from him. He's been playing in the flag football community since 2019.
2019, yeah. Jakarta Foxes is the girls' team.
Yeah.
So we started that team earlier this year, 2 months ago or something?
Yeah, probably.
That was in preparation for a tournament in Jogja coming up.
That I heard is happening next week?
Next weekend.
So next weekend, not this upcoming weekend, but the next one.
Next weekend.
Exactly.
So there are tournaments. So in Indonesia, it's not just played in Jakarta, but it's also played in other places, right?
Yeah.
Correct. There's an entity called Indonesian Flag Football Association, and so there are a bunch of different regions, but we tend to handle the Jakarta one, so yeah.
Well, how did you manage to introduce it to a lot of people? You just mentioned right now it's actually becoming so challenging to find a field that can accommodate the full capacity. So how did it start? Is it word mouth to mouth that it suddenly grows, or?
For me, we started in 2019 and it was growing, but then COVID hit. And then at one point, it was so difficult to get people to play.
Yeah.
But then recently, we started being consistent again. So the first thing was just consistency, picking one day, and we all play. And then we just invited more people, and people started to get interested. And then we started investing in getting photography. And then when people started getting their photos, and they would show it on social media, that's how she got a few of the girls as well. That's how I got a few of my friends who are girls as well. And within the span of 3 months, when we were playing with probably 20 or 30 people in the beginning. Now we're playing with over 100 every time.
Wow.
So, the girls in particular.
How many times a week?
Well, once in general, for everyone, we invite all the newbies. We post on Instagram, hey, come play on Wednesdays with us. We play weekends, but more specifically in preparation for the tournament. So.
Oh, cool. So how many people are going for the tournament?
For Jakarta Foxes, we're actually sending 2 teams. We thought it was still really new. We started with maybe 20 people in the second time we played, and it grew within 2 months to become 70 plus now.
Yeah.
Play Wednesdays. So apparently a lot of girls were interested and very motivated when they knew that we were gonna have a tournament.
Yeah.
And about 20 people signed up, so we're like, yes, we can bring 2 teams.
Oh, nice. So I'm going to stand here because I feel like it's a little bit difficult to talk to you guys right there.
Okay.
So are there any requirements for flag football? Because you know that American football has the full equipment, right? So you just mentioned that the belts. Is that it? Or and the ball, of course?
Yeah, basically you just need the belt and the ball. There are other stuff you can use like gloves and everything, but they're not necessary. All that's really necessary is the ball and the flags. That being said, we do play a version sometimes where it's no flags if we don't have any, because there have been times where our flags are lacking because we had so many people. So it's just touch mainly.
So so it's just basically if there is no flag, you just do the hip touch usually, or touch.
Two-hand touch.
Two-hand touch.
There are versions sometimes with the guys where we actually do a
bear hug.
Basically a bear hug. So
the bear hugs.
So yeah, exactly.
So you just mentioned one of the competitions, and is that one specific for girls only?
No.
There's one for girls and one for guys, yeah.
Yeah. But they're not. It's not girls and guys in one team. It's girls and girls against girls and guys against guys.
I think that's one of the reasons why, why it's so popular. Is like, but talking to the girls who just recently joined, what was one of the reasons why they enjoy it?
The reasons, I think the first factor, based on a recent survey, is the photography. that really helped with the popularity, and it gets girls to like, oh, what is that? What are you playing? Flag football. How is it? It's really fun. I think it's the team factor, because there are girls who haven't played in a team sport yet, so it was their first time. And you might think that in flag football, all the glory goes to the receiver who does a touchdown, but then it reiterated that it's a team effort. Everyone has their specific role to play. So if there's a touchdown, you did a part in it, even though you're not the one who did it.
Yeah.
So yeah, like good defense, good offense in that sense. Yeah. Like you're able to make a good play. You're able to distract the defenders, and that's why your team can make a touchdown. Or as a defender, you can tackle your player.
Yeah. And I would argue that, at least from what I know from the guys as well, one thing that they really like is the fact that it's very tactical.
Yep.
Like we've played a lot of sports, and I would argue that this is probably the most tactical I've ever played, because every single play you have to have a tactic.
Yep.
So you would decide what everyone does, and you break the huddle, and then you start. And when it comes together, it just feels really good, honestly.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. For the girls, I think it's the no contact factor. Because you think American football, with the gear and all the tackling, but they're like, no, it's no tackling. You just pull the flag. It seems it's a safer option for them.
Yeah, so, and it's a nice adrenaline rush, I guess.
It is.
But talk to me about the format, though, because I heard, what's the format? Is it 5-on-5? Is it 8-on-8?
Oh, okay. So the girls are 5-on-5. In football, there's usually a group of men called the linemen. Their job is typically to guard the quarterback, but the girls don't do that. They only have 5, so it would typically be all receivers and 1 quarterback and a running back, perhaps. Whereas the men, we try to do a variation of the game where we have 3 linemen, so it's 8-on-8. So I think that's what's also great about the sport, especially for the men. It's very inclusive in the sense like really, really big people can play. And you're actually very valuable if you're really big.
Because you have to block.
Exactly. You have to block the quarterback. And it's actually very unselfish, because you'll never touch the ball. But your job is to make sure he doesn't get touched either. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's one of the beauties of that team sport that can accommodate to a lot of different shapes and sizes, basically. Because not a lot of team sports do that, right?
Exactly.
So, what are your hopes for Indonesian football, flag football scene? Before we move on to demos.
For me, one thing for sure is we definitely want to get this more recognized. We want to get it into schools, high schools and everything. There are already some colleges that really play it. And our goal is to be able to get, I guess, more people involved, more funding, so that we can eventually, to be honest, if we can make our own field, that would be awesome. Make our own field and get teams abroad to like international competitions, because there are international competitions, but it's been tough getting players abroad, from my understanding.
So in terms of governance, because I'm a sports geek saying, because you already have an association, you already have in different provinces. Have they been actively encouraging international competitions as well? Because it shouldn't be impossible. It shouldn't be impossible.
It's not impossible. I think the communication has been lacking, because again, they've been a part of the entity that I discussed before. We're a bit separate from that for the time being. But we definitely want to head in that direction. But right now, communication is a bit lacking, and we'll do our part so that we can make that happen. So.
Well, I think the most important part is that people are playing it, and whether you guys will take the international competitions later or not, because obviously you have enough people. Obviously, we're not lacking of people for player pool. So hopefully that'll definitely happen. Anyway, back to straight away to demos. I'm a rugby person. I don't throw the ball like, it looks similar. Can I have it?
It does.
It does look similar, but it's played so differently. So I've never actually thrown a football before. So you guys need to tell me how it goes, and how do you actually
pull the flag?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull the flag.
Do you want to throw, or do you want to?
No, you can throw.
I'll throw. Yeah. I'll tell you what to do. Okay.
So let's just mock a game, for instance.
All right. Should I use this?
Should I use this?
Yeah. Why not? I don't know. Okay. Do you want to use one?
Sure.
Here.
Yeah, I'll use the red.
There you go. Can you cut?
What?
You can cut with your left foot, right?
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So like, oh, sorry.
Okay.
So let's say, for example, let's say we're on the same team, okay? If we're on the same team, let's say I'm the quarterback, so I'm the one who's going to throw the ball. We would huddle together. So we'd huddle together, and I will tell you guys, all right, if we're headed that way, say, for example, your right leg is, so you're going to be on the left. You're going to be on the left. You're going to do a 3-step slant, 45. So I would tell her, like, take 3 steps, 45 degrees. And for you, I would say, like, for example, go straight.
Go straight.
And then I would decide who to pass it to, depending on who's open. And once we're already agreed on once we agree on the strategy, we break the huddle. So we go, ready? Go. That's it. And then, so you line up over here.
So I line up over here.
And you line up over here. Yep. And then you typically have your inside foot forward, so it'll be, yep, that one. Yep. Inside foot.
Inside.
Okay, yeah.
I'm okay.
All right. And then when I say ready, set, hike, and then you do your route. So you would just be going straight, and she would be doing 3.
Okay, I'd be going straight.
Exactly.
Right.
Ready, set, hike.
1, 2.
Yep. Like that, basically.
Okay.
So that wasn't the best throw, but whatever.
So, no, okay, so basically you start with the tactics.
Yeah.
And then you start with the tactics, and then you have to make sure that everybody knows what they're doing.
Exactly.
But when do you pull? Who pulls?
So the person who pulls is the defender. So let's say, for example, you're on defense now. Let's say you're on defense. I'm going to tell her to do a 3-step slant, and then you just pull it over here, right? So basically, you pull the flag once you've already gotten the ball. If you don't have the ball, you can't pull the flag. So the defense can't pull the flag.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you what to run.
Okay.
So you do 3 steps, 45 degrees in.
Okay.
All right, ready? Right. There you go. Ready?
3.
Oh.
No, wait, that's wrong.
Yeah, you got to wait for me to say hike first.
Okay.
All right, so you start here.
So I slant when you say hike, or?
So when I say hike, you take 1, 2, 3, and you go inside, basically. And then be ready for the catch.
All right.
Ready, set, hike.
1, 2,
2, 3, this way.
Ball.
Catch, and then,
Okay, sorry guys.
Deflag.
And then she would deflag you,
okay. Okay, let's try that again.
All right, let's try it again. Do you want to give
Pull
it
the other flag.
Here.
All right.
So put it back.
So how many tries? You only get 3. So when you've already taken all 3, does that matter? Or?
Oh, no. So you just need to pull 1 flag. That's it.
Okay,
Once you pull the flag, you give it back to the opponent. We deflag
all right.
them.
So let's try.
We'll do the same route, okay?
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, ready, set, hike. 1, 2, 3. Yep,
Like,
and then and she pulls the flag. So what happens is we start there for the next one. So that's how you move forward.
So if you already gained some yards.
So I would have to evade her, right?
Correct, exactly. And you can't guard like that. You can't throw someone's hand away. Yeah. Exactly.
You can't be like, move.
You can't push. Yeah, exactly.
Wow, that's different from rugby.
It is. Yeah. Well, you compare it with touch rugby, not real rugby, right? So.
Well, no, even in touch rugby we can fend.
You can, yeah.
You can.
Well, you can fend? Well, you can.
Yes, we can. Just as long as not neck above.
Oh, okay.
You can fend.
Well, at least in the boys' version, like in the guys'
You
version,
can block.
You know, the offensive team, they're allowed to, kind of block the defenders.
Yeah,
Why
you can
is there a
block.
difference? This is curiosity. Why is there a difference between the girls' rules and the guys' rules?
From my understanding, it's because, so for the guys, we can block because it's flag football and not American football. There's only a certain way you can tackle, and there's only a certain way you can block, and the certain way that you can block is typically around this area, and so like that's typically
It's a
why
sensitive area for some girls.
it's
right?
a sensitive area for some women. So perhaps not, but if you guys want to do it, I mean, be my guest. So.
Well, okay, but as long as there's like mutual understanding between
Exactly.
But commonly, it's not part of the rules,
No.
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
I see.
So yeah.
So guys, thank you so much for this. I might just come down for training, and because I'm actually pretty curious about it. So let me know. And all right, so we're up for another break. Thank you to both of you for joining us, and all the best for the upcoming tournament next week.
Yep.
And hopefully you guys will bring back and win the tournament. Yay!
Amen. Great.
Jakarta represent. Anyway, follow us on our social media accounts if you haven't already. We're on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and See Today News. So stay tuned because we'll be right back with more information after the break.